Welcome to Trading Lounge and the gold silver report for the 12th of May. So this is a weekly chart for silver, just to let you know that we'll be pushing up. I'm thinking about 3,200, 3,300 for this. There's a couple of different ways to count this. As you may know, I'm not that keen on spikes. Reddit Wall Street bets pushing this up through here. I like to follow the main traffic, so to speak, the volume. So there's different ways to count this up here. This is an A and a B and a C, but the other way to count this is up for one here, well, up for one to here and back for two at that point. So we'll look at both cases. This is the B wave top here as an A wave, an A, B, C for the B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave here. And then we're working up that way for that. The other way to count this is like this, with looking at silver as wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C wave. I kind of like this because this Wall Street bets situation here where they pumped it up and the banks pumped it back down here with futures contracts. It's just not part, it's just popped out of the trend, that's all. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and that would leave us with all of this being the third wave here. So I know this looks really unusual, but I kind of prefer this count. That's just, I've been doing this from the early 80s, so you see a few of these things now and again. Yeah, we'll get into this count now, moving up here. There's also two different ways to count that. So this is one way here with from the low here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then going 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then pushing up for wave 5. So we'll see a bit of a classic trading levels pattern across the $28 mark, which will look a little bit like this: the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and so on. So if you're a very short-term trader, then you would sell here and buy over here. Once the market migrates from being resistance to support on this side of the fence. So this is how you get your timing right, especially if you're trading things that, well, there's all different derivatives, isn't there? If you're using CFDs, well, then you'll be paying interest on all of this time coming through here. So you'd kind of like maybe want to sharpen that up a little bit. If you're trading options and you want to burn somebody out in time, well, then you can use understanding this will be very helpful as well. But that's generally the pattern, migrating from the 28 here, we call a profit taking number, from being resistance to support over here further. So we're looking for this to be wave 5 here, and then an ABC pattern in this case, and then further up at that point. So it's all bullish. I mean, you may as well hold if you're, if you're holding an EFT or gold stocks or silver stocks or whatever. Yeah, the other way to count this, of course, is, I think it's on the hourly chart. It's a little bit same but different, a bit like gold here, but blue wave 1 here and blue wave 2 here. These really need to be lifted up to the next degree of level, but we don't need them there. So yeah, so a 1, 2 here. So 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then moving into the third wave here, which I kind of like because we're seeing some ranges coming into, we're seeing that strength of in Elliott Wave, the third of the third of the third, displaying the strongest wave push so far with all of this. We've been moving in long. We've been talking about that for a while. The next time we can move in here, if you want to, would be on top of the 28 here, but we need that classic trading levels pattern for that. In this instance here, we won't see that bigger pullback. We'll see less of a pullback here. So in this case, we'll just see wave 5, wave 4 will be some sort of thing like this, pulling back to the wave 4, 1 less a degree, or the 38.2% retracement level of the length of the third wave, wherever that may come into. And then we'll push up into, obviously into wave 5 here to make top of blue wave 3, I think, won't it? So, oops, already over here, so we can put that there, get rid of that, tidy up my mess. These out of the way. Yeah, so that's it for silver, really. Obviously, gold's sort of much the same, so let's go check on that. Let me just save that for a moment. And we'll look at gold. I did buy some gold stock in Australia. Newcrest Mining, NCM is the code, ASX NCM, which is one of the largest gold producers on the planet. So gold, yeah, so we hit the 2000, so we're looking at this as the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then a larger correction over this side. So I also see this going up to, this will be just in the minor levels. So minor levels here will be 1, 2, and 3, and then we go to 5, but in this case 5 is a medium level here. So yeah, it normally tops out in this space here, but as always, easier to track. Well, not easy always. Well, impulse waves are easier than corrective waves, so we shouldn't have too much problem. There will be problems, I'm sure, but we'll sort of be over, we'll be all over it in one way or another. This top to this bottom here, this little band here around the 1900, that's obviously going to be a point of contention there, so just keep that in mind. But otherwise we're pushing up quite nicely. We still need to push through this trend line, which is also going to be a bit of an issue as well. Yeah, we're still not seeing increased volume here. This is just the weekly. We're not, so as this is pushing up here, we're not really seeing increasing volume on any of these, you know. So we've seen a little bit at the beginning here, but maybe I need to check some other volumes. I just don't trust CFD providers. When you have a loss, it's their profit, so that's a nice way to do business with your partner, isn't it? So, but still, they've got some functionality that's fantastic, like shorting stocks in Australia. So, all over the world, really. Yeah, sorry, I just saw something else. I won't go into that. Let's go in and have a look. I'm not sure where we are. We'll just start with one of them. So, yeah, this is sort of where we're up to. So off this low here. Pretty simple, really. And everything's going according to plan. So there's nothing really to do except sit on your backside and make money. So wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2, and we've got this nice strong third wave here. And the beautiful thing about that is that it confirms that we're on the right track with the count. Because if it was really small or something weird, then we'd sort of have to be, you know, thinking outside the box. So yeah, so that's it. And then we'll just move up for wave 5. Yesterday we were looking for that pullback for wave 4 there, so we got that, and in yesterday's video, and then we're just heading up for wave 5. How far will that extend out? Commodities tend to extend in the 5th wave a lot, but we're not really seeing that. We could use this as a bit of a DNA profile here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we've got the extension in wave 3, so 1 and 5 are roughly the same, so we could probably expect that to play out like that. We'll just go a little bit closer into the 1 hour chart. So 1 and 2, oh, what have we got here? Oh yeah, sorry, 1 and 2, because I changed these. I upgraded it, not upgraded it, but lifted it up 1 degree of structure. So 1 and 2 there. Don't need this one, and I don't need these levels. I'll leave that there, get rid of that. Okay, don't need that. We'll need these. Sorry to drag you through this. you know, I need company. So there we go. So yeah, yesterday we were looking for that retracement there. It's just good to understand at what point that came back to. That's pretty much spot on the 38.2% retracement level. So that's good. It just tells us that everything is running pretty smooth with this structure. And it also gives us a little insight into the larger wave falls that come as well, because this particular pattern here got sold off pretty quickly by news or whatever. So yeah, anyway, DNA micro patterns of larger patterns we'll see to the upside. So that's going to give us, let's just mull that over. That's about, we'll just shorten that up there. That's from that one to that one. That's pretty short, isn't it? But that's, so we could end up within group 2 here unless we get an extension in there for that. Still looks a bit small, but we'll just go with that for the time being. I mean, this will give the very short-term traders something to mull over. So once we get into wave 3 or 5 here, then this can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So we could be looking at this kind of thing. Anyway, just a little mud map. I think we can pretty much leave it at that. From wave 4 to wave 5, we're looking for 5 little waves to the upside. It's probably wave 1 starting already, unless wave 4 is going to get bigger and uglier. But otherwise, we'll keep our stop out of the way. Yeah, so what do we do about this? I think in our trade here, if we want to milk it a little bit, we should work it a little bit. We can't be that lazy, but I'm a pretty lazy trader. But so we can take a percentage here and we will look to build back in over here. It's not a big difference, but it's something, you know. I mean, even if it's 20% or something, but either way, we'll have to leave the stop out of the way here. We can't, if we're going to survive this blue wave tsunami here, then wave 4, then you know, we need to be out of the way. So I'll leave that out of the way. These positions here that you may have in the market, then that can be taking profit on those ones at least, and then we'll build back in over here again with those. Or you can leave them there, do whatever you want, but yeah. So this wave 4 here should be, because it's a degree higher, should be 60% bigger than this one here. That's what we'd be looking at. But we'll see. There's influences. Okay, that's enough yakking for today. So thanks for tuning in. Thank you. Cheers.